Did you know that over 500,000 people moved to a different UK city last year, hoping for a better life? But many ended up in places they now deeply regret? What if I told you that some UK cities, once full of promise, have now become places where dreams go to die? Rising crime, crumbling services, rent that's going through the roof. And no, we're not talking about London. In 2025, several cities across the UK have taken a sharp turn for the worse. And yet, people are still moving there without realizing what they're walking into. One city on this list is battling such severe public health issues. It ranks among the worst in Europe. Another has unemployment numbers that haven't been this high since the 1980s. And another, it promised a cultural boom but delivered a financial bust instead. Think you're safe just because the rent is cheap? Think again. Today, we're revealing the 5 UK cities you'll regret moving to in 2025. And trust me, this isn't your typical list. We've dug deep, using real data, news reports, and local experiences to uncover what's really going on. So before you pack your bags and sign that lease, stick around. Because what you learn today could save you from a move you'll never stop regretting. Number 5. Hull. Back in 2017, Hull proudly wore the crown of UK City of Culture. For a brief period, it felt like the city was rewriting its story. Streets were alive with performances, art, and optimism. Locals felt heard, and outside investors were finally paying attention. But fast forward to 2025, and that cultural glow has long since faded. Hull now finds itself consistently listed among the poorest and most deprived cities in the UK. NHS data reveals it has one of the highest rates of alcohol-related deaths in the country, and health inequality remains a serious ongoing concern. Many residents struggle with access to adequate health care and support services. The economy hasn't fared much better. The creative industry boom that was supposed to follow the City of Culture title fizzled out. Job opportunities are scarce, particularly for young adults, and wage growth has been sluggish at best. Crime is a rising concern, especially violent and knife crime, leaving many feeling unsafe even during daylight hours. Meanwhile, property prices remain low, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Many housing estates suffer from neglect, antisocial behavior, and long-standing infrastructure problems. Affordable doesn't always mean livable. For newcomers seeking vibrant job markets, modern services, and community energy, Hull may quickly feel isolating and stagnant. That's not to say Hull lacks value. It has rich history, gritty character, and strong working-class resilience. But moving here without understanding the full picture is a gamble, especially in 2025, when so many promises have failed to materialize. Unless you already have personal or professional ties, Hull could very well become one of those decisions that looked smart on paper, but feels like a big mistake once reality sets in. Number 4. Newport. Newport was supposed to be the next big thing. Just a short drive from Cardiff, it attracted thousands of newcomers hoping for cheaper living with city-like amenities. But in 2025, the shine is gone, and the cracks are showing. The housing crisis here is worse than many expected. Prices have surged without a matching rise in quality. Many first-time buyers and renters move in thinking they've scored a deal, only to discover damp walls, outdated wiring, and neighborhoods in decline. Entire areas feel left behind, and regeneration plans have stalled more than once. Wages remain stubbornly low across the board. Even with a full-time job, many residents are struggling to keep up with the cost of living. Public services, too, are stretched thin, from overwhelmed GP clinics to underfunded schools. Long waiting times and inconsistent quality are common complaints. And if you rely on transportation, Newport might test your patience. Commuting to Cardiff or Bristol can be a nightmare, with delays, limited routes, and aging train services. Despite grand plans to transform the city into a commuter haven, the execution simply hasn't lived up to the promise. Crime has crept up too. Antisocial behavior, petty theft, and public disorder are increasingly common. Police presence feels inconsistent, and many locals say they don't feel heard. To be clear, Newport has potential, But moving here in 2025 expecting Cardiff-level development, lifestyle, or opportunity, you're likely to be disappointed. Have you lived in Newport or considered moving there? Drop your experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real talk about UK cities. Number 3. Coventry. Coventry doesn't make headlines. It's not dramatic. It doesn't shout for attention. And maybe that's the problem. Once a symbol of rebirth after World War II, Coventry was proud of its recovery story. Fast forward to now, and that story has stalled. Quietly. The city has been losing its edge. Industries that once powered its economy have thinned out, and new sectors haven't filled the gap. What you're left with is a population growing increasingly disillusioned. Young talent leaves, older residents stay, and the city sits stuck. Coventry has also seen a rise in knife crime, though it rarely makes national news. It's not a crime wave, it's a slow, steady drip of incidents that wear down community morale. Locals talk more and more about feeling unsafe in areas that once felt fine after dark. There's also a wage problem. The average income here hasn't kept pace with inflation, and combined with the rising cost of housing, it's becoming harder just to live a decent life. People aren't moving forward, they're surviving. Transport is a mixed bag. Coventry sits in a great spot geographically, but poor rail links and unpredictable services make commuting a gamble. There's a sense of being close to everything, but still disconnected. Coventry doesn't scream, "Don't move here." It whispers it. If you're after momentum, growth, or even just a spark of excitement, Coventry might leave you feeling like you're standing still in a city that's no longer sure where it's going. Number 2. Bradford. Bradford is a city that's been promised everything: funding, regeneration, new jobs, improved education. And yet, somehow, in 2025, those promises still haven't materialized in a way that truly matters. At first glance, Bradford seems on the brink of change. Cranes hover over half-finished construction sites. Local politicians talk about revival, and press releases make it sound like the next Manchester. But beneath the surface, everyday life tells a different story. Crime is a serious concern. Gang activity has taken root in several neighborhoods, and while efforts have been made to curb it, the results are mixed at best. In certain areas, locals will tell you straight up, "Don't go there after dark." That reputation sticks, and for good reason. Then there's the issue of education. Some of Bradford's schools consistently underperform, with Ofsted reports that paint a troubling picture. For families looking to build a future, the city can be a difficult sell. Unemployment also remains high, and even among those working, underemployment is a quiet crisis. People working jobs far below their qualifications just to get by. Despite the media buzz and regeneration hype, the lived reality in Bradford often feels like a holding pattern. There's energy here, potential, but it's trapped in red tape and missed opportunities. And if you're considering relocating here, the question isn't whether Bradford has potential. It does. The real question is whether you can afford to wait years for that potential to become your reality. Or if, like many others, you'll end up stuck in a place that never quite lives up to its pitch. Number 1. Blackpool. You step off the train in Blackpool, and for a split second, there's nostalgia. The sea breeze, the retro charm, the glitter of the promenade. It feels like something special, until you start walking. Blackpool is the ultimate illusion. Behind the postcard pier and neon lights is a town facing some of the toughest socio-economic challenges in the UK. In 2025, Blackpool ranks among the lowest for life satisfaction, mental health, and child well-being, according to multiple studies. It's not just statistics, it's something you feel. Empty storefronts, closed-down community centers, strained hospitals, entire blocks that look abandoned. The local economy has crumbled. Tourism is no longer reliable, and most of the jobs that remain are seasonal, unstable, or underpaid. There are parts of town where opportunity feels like it packed up and left a long time ago. Mental health issues are especially prevalent here. Blackpool has some of the highest antidepressant prescription rates in the country. It's not hard to see why. Isolation, poverty, and lack of future prospects weigh heavy on the population. And while the housing is cheap, the conditions often reflect the price. Old terraced homes in serious need of repair in areas with limited access to essential services. Blackpool isn't just a city in decline. It's a place where decline has become normal. The optimism that once defined it now feels like a distant echo. Moving here might seem like a budget-friendly choice, but what you save in money, you may pay for in lifestyle, opportunity, and mental health. In 2025, Blackpool is less a place to restart, and more a place many are trying to escape. And now it's your turn. Have you lived in any of these cities, or almost made the move? Drop your story in the comments. We read every single one. If this video opened your eyes, check out our last one on the 5 best UK cities to move to in 2025. It's the perfect follow-up. We pour hours into researching, scripting, and producing these for you, so if you found it helpful, support us with just one click. Subscribe now. It means the world to us.